So for me, in 2016, my brother, who was then a priest, there was this fateful day he said, Amale, can I come to your house and eat? And I'm like, I'm just tired with you and everything. 3 days later, I was at the emergency. I was actually doing my call. Around 1 a.m., I was told that they had brought a patient dead on arrival. So I got up very sleepy and went to the car. I just said, open the bag and let me see. And when I opened, it was my own brother who had committed suicide. If I had been a bit more patient, because he, apart from asking me that he wanted me to cook for him, he said he needed us to talk, but I just felt that it was him being his excesses. And so I promised myself that that was a missed opportunity and that would not happen again. So that, at that time I was still confused about what to specialize in, but after that, that drew me up to do psychiatry. And so that's the reason for my passion. So I'm prepared to go the extra mile. My name is Elsie Amalia Bakisi, a psychiatrist with the Tamale Teaching Hospital. I came from South Africa, and I came with so much passion for psychiatry because when I compared what I had there in terms of the number of patients we saw, the treatments, the recovery rates, and everything, I felt that I was coming to replicate the same thing in this part of the north. Unfortunately, when I got here, I was a bit disappointed. The reason being that as much as we had the patients here, we didn't have enough human resource. We have patients who come from places beyond the north, and that should just give you an idea of our catchment area. Sometimes we do have a very, very packed clinic. So we have patients who come who are very psychotic, maybe very manic, but unfortunately we can't admit them. And so we just do a 12-hour service where we will try to stabilize them and we discharge them home. And you and I know very well that that is not good enough. But unfortunately, that is what we have. Substance has become a menace in this part of the north, and we have not been spared.
Professor Stephen Tebri, I'm the Dean of School of Medicine in the University for Development Studies. And I'm a consultant surgeon and also a clinician and a researcher. The challenge we had until last 2 years was sending our students to Accra for mental health rotation, which we did till 2 years ago that we started developing the mental health department at the Tamale Teaching Hospital and the University for Development Studies. There were stories about nurses going for mental health rotation. They were involved in an accident. One student died and one student ended with amputation. So since then we said, no, we're not going to send students again. We decided to start establishing our own mental health department. Then Dr. Bill Kumsen came in as a first mental psychiatrist, trained psychiatrist, to start the development of the mental health department. For 2 years now, we built the human resources that is required for training of the medical students and the nursing students. However, we lack infrastructure like where we will admit the mental health patient. With the help of Tamale Teaching Hospital, we've got a space, but the space is not befitting for the mental health patient, both for service delivery and for teaching and learning. So we're looking for support to be able to convert it to a standard facility.
My name is Dr. William Frank Hill Kumsen, and I'm a psychiatrist. I work also in the Tamale Teaching Hospital, and I love what I do. And we've been trying to do the best with the little resources we have. We have a lot of challenges but we still manage to figure things out with the little we have. So far, we see an average of 200 patients every month. The unit is plagued with multiple challenges. In line with this year's theme for Mental Health Day celebration, which is Mental Health, a Human Right for All, we have deemed our space unfit for purpose because of a lot of infrastructural challenges. Security is non-existent. We have torn mosquito nets. The whole ward has just one bathroom, which we can't have both the male and female gender sharing. We know that the average temperature of Tamale, especially in the dry season, can go in excess of 39 degrees Celsius, especially in the dry season. And working in a space like that with no ACs, with very poor ventilation, can be very challenging. When you enter the space we've been given, sometimes the heat makes you want to walk back. But the love we have for the work we do and the patients we see, that smile of gratitude we see on their faces as they walk out, just keeps us moving on. So we endure the heat and all the difficulties, and we just take it one day at a time.
My name is Comfort Abuajoa. I'm a mental health nurse with the Tamale Teaching Hospital. I joined the hospital in August 2017. That is after my training as a mental health nurse. When I joined the hospital, the mental health department was operating in a small cubicle in which you have to see one patient at a time. So no matter the number of patients we have for the day, we still have to see one patient at a time, which makes some of the patients very agitated. So we have to fight our way through to get to where we are now, this current place. But then this place is also not a safe space for us to operate. We'll be very happy if the place is renovated to make it safe for the patient and then for us, the health workers also. And transportation, if you can get an organization or NGO which will help us with transportation, buses or buses to help us with our home visits also.
We have window blades, we have torn nets, our sockets do not work. If you have a very sick patient, mentally ill, psychotic, the patient will remove the window blade and the rest becomes history. If he doesn't end up hurting himself, he will harm other patients on the ward. Secondly, with the nets, it's very easy for them to tear through and escape. And this is a community just very close to us. And you can imagine if a psychotic patient escapes and goes into the community, we will become big news. I chose to do psych. I wanted to be able to give unconditional service, love to people who could not reciprocate it. And I'm happy that I've been able to do that, and I still do it. Because when we treat our patients and I see the smile when they come back, that's the greatest fulfillment I have. My hope for this unit is that we will get a building that is secured, that is safe, and that can house our patients. One that has a lot of the gadgets. We know we can't get everything, but security is paramount.
The space has only one exit, which is not disability friendly. And so if there's any chaos, if there's fire, if we have an aggressive patient who is probably going on a rampage, escaping is going to be another issue. So that basically puts all our lives in danger. Then we also have some limitations when it comes to some neuroimaging. At the moment, the hospital is only able to provide CT scan services. Some of our patients require more than that. And so we'll have to go all the way down south, either to Kumasi or Accra, just to have an MRI done, which is a waste of time and money, and also exposes the patients to a lot of risk. We provide services to persons in Ghana and beyond. Just last week we had a patient who visited from East Africa and needed our services. I personally want to tell everybody that if I get a mental breakdown, I wouldn't want to be managed in a space like this. So I'm sure I want to hold that standard for everybody, and make sure that we get a space that is fit for purpose for you and I.
And that's my hope. My hope is that this unit will continue to be a beacon of hope, especially for the North and even beyond. And my hope is also that we will get not just funding in terms of infrastructure, but funding in terms of human resources, so that people can be allowed to go train outside and come join us, and together we will be able to face the menace. So just last week, we had a patient who came in very, very aggressive. In fact, I think 4 or 5 staff tried to, contain him, and we were really worried what to do, what next. And in a matter of 24 hours, or 24 to 48 hours, this patient walked out of here saying thank you. So definitely, if we have more resources, that's both financial and human resource and other resources, we definitely can do more, because with the little we have, patients have come to show gratitude. How much more when we have much more on our hands?
The mind is powerful. Once you set your mind on something that you really want to do, you should be able to do it. So when we talk about mental health, it's not only about those who are sick, but mentality is required to do everything. Just imagine Ghanaians decided that we're going to ride all the way from Accra to Tamale. This is something that if you start talking, before they did it, if you start talking about it, people will say, well, hang on, are you crazy? They've been able to prove to us that it can be done.
The day the Zen Riders came to Tamale, we had a small board that we were asked to write personalized messages to. And I wrote that this is some Superman move, right? Because it's almost beyond our human capabilities, riding on a bicycle all the way from Accra to Tamale. The different terrains, different temperatures, different challenges. That's what challenges your physical body and then your mental health too. And they have been able to break through all the challenges.
We came up with a challenge, which is to cycle from the south of Ghana to the north of Ghana and back to the south, primarily to cycle from Accra to Tamale and back to Accra in 10 days, and with the aim of being able to complete this challenge towards creating awareness for mental health. And I got the opportunity to meet Dr. Bill and the professor, and we just got talking, and they talked about a little bit about what they do and where they are and what some of the challenges are. But when I listened and when I heard them, I was like, okay, the usual. I mean, people have issues. We all have challenges, right? We don't all have the resources. So I kind of brushed it off, but I put it at the back of my mind, knowing that, okay, something I'll consider later. And aside of that, I was very fatigued and tired, and I'm human after all. But whilst I was in bed, I was just pondering over some of the things they told me. So the following day, which was Monday, which was supposed to be our rest day, we decided to visit them at, Tamale Teaching Hospital, right? To visit them just to get an idea of, okay, what they do, where they are. And guys, maybe most of you don't believe in angels. I do. But when I got here, I've seen angels at work. They can come up with 1,000,001 reasons why they should not come to work. But every day, they find courage and they come to work. Why would they do that? When we walked in here, if somebody had told me this was some shack in some ghetto somewhere, I would have believed it. There is nothing here in this department, this building, that will give you the impression you're in a hospital. At best, you may think it's a set for a Nigerian movie or a Ghanaian movie, low-budget movie. It's basically non-existent. The building is nothing to write home about. The resources, the equipment, the medications, everything that they need is basically nothing to write home about. But these guys here, not just the doctors, the nurses, almost all the staff that support the function of mental health department within the hospital are giving their very best. And these guys are just human beings. Why would they be doing this? And if they are doing what they are doing, then as human beings outside, I believe that it's important, it's our duty to give them the little that we can give them. So this video you are watching, we are not begging for funds. We are not begging for funds. What we are asking of you is to be human. It's for you to care. It's for you to show love. And together, let's build one of the finest, most functioning mental health departments and facility, not just in Tamale, not just in Ghana, not just in Africa, but in the world. Because at the end of the day, when we live for humanity as they are doing, putting their lives at risk every day, we owe it to them as a people to contribute our widow's mite. For this reason, I, Michael Amankwa, have made it a personal campaign to give it my very all to my very last drop of blood to ensure that whatever assistance we can give them comes to bear. So if you get to watch this, this is not a traditional plea for funds. This is an opportunity for us to show that as people, as human beings, when we band together, we can touch the sky. When we band together, and as Elon Musk is doing, trying to take humanity to Mars, we want Tamale Teaching Hospital to build the finest mental health facility on Mars. Thank you so much.